Hi, this is Dorothy with Scrapbooking, and I am going to put the new Cut Above September layout together from the subscription. So there's my page protectors that I will put aside for a moment, and here are my instructions. So I'm just going to fold them in half and put them above so I can kind of look at what I'm supposed to do. And I'll just go ahead and take out the die cuts for Project 1. So you can see there's project or layout 1 and layout 2. So I'm just going to start off with number 1. Good place to start, right? So you just want to make sure that you get all of the pieces from each of the, especially the die cuts, because I seem to have a tendency to miss one or two. So I'm going to set aside the layout 2 stickers and also the layout 2 background pages. And so here we are with the photo mats and the little embellishments for the layout. So the red background goes on the left side, and the blue background is already a part of the printed on background sheet. So I'm just divvying up the die cuts where they belong. They don't belong anyplace. You can put them wherever you want to. But I'm just going to go with the layout here. And so it kind of gives you a little bit of the measurements of where to place the red photo background. And it also shows that this tab goes on the one side of the red. And so I'm just eyeballing. So I'm going to run the tab down the line on the paper, on the spiral bound paper, and then run the red background right up next to it. So, not even really measuring. I'm just kind of eyeballing. And the little scallop gets snugged into the corner of where the tab sticks up. No measuring there. And then another little strip tab that goes on the opposite side of the red. And so that is a pretty kind of lagoon color graph type tab. And the 4x6 picture goes horizontally right there. Now there is a 5x7. I got a 5x7, whether it was by mistake, it's not really part of the kit. And I guess you could put a 5x7 vertically if you wanted to on the red background, except that the title goes here. So you could put the title elsewhere if you wanted to have a vertical 5x7. But like I said, I'm just going with the instructions so you can see how easy it is to put it together and just kind of follow the little bit of instructions, but mostly the visual instruction. So I am just using the little design of the red to make sure that the letters are going on there straight. So I'm just going straight across. They're like little bitty arrowheads. And so I'm just setting it on top of the points to, essentially use it as a straight line. And then the same thing for the learn. It's a little bit easier to use the tweezers than your fingers. Your fingers get all caught up and then you get stuff stuck to your fingers, like the insides of the letters. Now these letters get a little bit more spread apart. And you can see that on the instructions. So learn goes from the beginning of the 4x6 to the end of the 4x6. So there, we love to learn. And I'm popping up the little stars just to add a little bit of dimension. You don't have to. You can put Tombow on them or your favorite adhesive, but I just wanted to put a little bit of dimension to it. And so I think it always adds a little bit of interest to have things sticking up a little bit, to add some three-dimensionality to your layout. Layup is basketball, which was on all day yesterday. Okay, so the little 2 stars, the bigger star there is a sticker, and the smaller stars are all the die cuts. So here we go with the background that's already on there. And so I'm just kind of eyeballing, once again, the lagoon color graph stripe. And I'm putting about 1/4 of an inch over from the straight line where the tab is. Now I'm putting a 3x4 down. That's actually the wrong thing to do. Those 2 top ones are actually supposed to be 3x3s, which shows you what happens when you don't read the instructions. Nothing unusual here. You could put the 3x4s there if you wanted to, frankly. They just get a little close to the bottom. But you could remedy that by putting the one 3x4 up. So what I'm going to try to do, and I'm not worried about the fact that there's a little bit of paper that was taken off there, because it's going to get covered up anyway. So here comes the 3x3s, which just means that you're going to crop any, first day of school or any kind of school pictures you have. You can just crop it down, and there's always, extraneous information on your picture. So you want to put the main point of the picture in your 3x3. Got to change Tombow. There we go. So here's your journaling card for adding any little new elements, the name of the new teacher, obviously the date. You always have to have your date. And I like this little tab. You've got the tab for the date, and here's a cute little clip to go on there, like you're clipping the paper. It's very cute. Once again, I'm adding the pop-up stars for some dimension. And this star is a little bit bigger, so I'm adding two pop-ups to it. And I like the little arrows. And I need another of the lagoon strips, the graph strips over. And I didn't put the glue all the way out to the edge of the scallops, so I'm just kind of lifting it up. And then I'll add a little bit more Tombow to the scallops to help them hold down. So there we go. There's an A. You always want to start off with a positive attitude in the beginning of the school year. And a star. They should have gold stars. That's what we used to get in elementary school. If you got a gold star, that was really cool. Another little brown star to go over on the first layout, and almost finished here. So there we go. Whoops, I'm going to lose my dots. So the second page is kind of interesting because it's taking the circles that are going to go next to each of the journaling lines, and you can see how they're curved. So the circles are going to fit close to that curve. And I'm just going to add my photo mat holders to the background photo, just to kind of get that out of the way. So they're 3x4. It's going to go horizontally here. And just try to make it equidistant from the edge. One is a little bit smaller than the other. And this is a 4x6 with a little bit, maybe about 1/8 of an inch or so in between. And there I'm going to use one of them that I used on the first one where I made a boo-boo. But I'm reusing my boo-boo, so that means it's not a boo-boo. So this gives you the dimension. It's like 1.5 up and 1.5 over from the left. So pretty simple, and bam, it's down. And bam, it's down again. So I like these. I'm gonna take the pop outs out, and I'm taking out all the days because that's what I'm concentrating on. And if you notice, I'm leaving that one green circle. Yeah, I'll be looking for that later. Okay, so we're going to start off with Sunday. And I'm putting that one flat, and I'm just kind of putting it maybe 1/4 of an inch over from the lines. And then they have these, the days of the week kind of low, high, low, high, low, high. So I'm using a larger pop-up to put it over, and then I'm going to snug Tuesday underneath. You want to try to get your writing as level as you can with eyeballs. And then I'm snugging Wednesday, following the curve there. This is really a cute idea. So your week is going to tell a story in itself. I mean, are there certain things you do on certain days of the week? So you can make a little story about, what your week is like. And in school things are pretty regular, so you can add your school day or whatever it happens to be. Whether it's school or just different things each of us do on different days of the week. The week is its own little story. So I like the little hay, and it kind of overlaps a picture, but I don't like to do that. So what I'm going to do is just like this heart is overlapping the picture, but I am leaving, I'm allowing you to put a picture underneath the heart there. So it will stick with those double stick foam dots. They're very tough, and so it will stick there. And it doesn't really matter that you don't have one on the other side. And most importantly, you can have the picture go underneath it. So these letters are pretty thin. It's easier to work them with the tweezers. So it says each day. And then the rest of the title has a story. So I'm just eyeballing it, and it's just going not even 1/4 of an inch down from the top of the dotted pattern paper or the background paper. And so the story is going to go almost directly on top of the background. And this time I am doing the S at the very beginning and the Y at the end, and then filling in the gaps to try to get them kind of evenly spaced. So there we go. So each day has a story. And then on to page 2. So I'm going to go ahead and put down the background pictures. And they're going to be 3/4 of an inch over from the left-hand side and about an inch and 1/4 down from the top, about an inch. And once again, I'm just putting the pop-ups on one side so that the picture can scooch underneath. And then we put this picture down, the 3x4. And that's going to go 1.5 inches over from the right-hand side. And it's like 3.25 inches or so down from the top. And the little title here is going to get popped up, because we don't have as much dimension over on this side as we do with the days of the week. So it says, wait, there's more, with the arrow saying, hey, look at this. And we get a little tab here, so you can put the date or name or whatever you want to there, a little bitty journaling spot. And it's going to get a little pop-up heart. And so now I'm looking for that green spot. See, there it is. You always want to double check before you throw your stuff out. And if you still can't find it, then you have to rummage through the trash. So there I am rummaging. So there's the little green spot. It just needed a little bit more green on that side for balance. So there's the layout 2. Back off a little bit so you can get a better view. And then we've got layout 1. Bye now.